Senator Bill Cassidy with us, Republican from Louisiana. Oh, he's there. I'm sorry. I didn't think we were... Mr. Senator, I do apologise. I didn't know you were there and mic'd up. My apologies, sir.
No problem.
OK, perhaps you can tell me why I think it's 4 Republican senators are going to vote against the national emergency when we clearly have a chronic crisis on the border.
Yeah, I think everybody is all about building the wall. You mentioned it's a chronic crisis. It's something that there is other ways to respond to if I'm going to channel them into this conversation without declaring a national emergency. Kind of brings up for some people a constitutional issue. If Congress says this is your money, but then the executive goes around and does something different, what precedent does that establish? What will a President Bernie Sanders do with the same powers? And is there an alternative way to fund it without going there? I think, for example, the fact that they're using the asset forfeiture fund, which was my idea, is an example of other ways that can be done. Okay. So those are some of the questions floating back and forth.
But I know you're smiling, Mr. Senator, but, you know, when I say it's a chronic crisis, I remember what was said yesterday. Young girls, 10 years and up, when they arrive at the border, they have to be given a pregnancy test because of the likely sexual abuse on the way. So that is a crisis. You've got to do something about it.
Absolutely. The New York Times is now writing about this, to your point.
Yes.
Which has been a critic of the president, but now acknowledging the president is right. No one denies that we have a crisis. All others think we need to build a wall. There does seem to be pots of money with which you could build a wall. Senator Lamar Alexander has pointed out that there's already a pot of money under the president's control which could be used for such. Now, I don't know how Lamar is voting, but that is just, again, part of the debate. The money is already there. Do we need to establish a precedent that a President Bernie Sanders could use to do something that conservatives would find abhorrent?
Well, OK, I better move on because you know how I feel about this, but I will move on. I've got a tweet from your colleague, Senator Charles Schumer, and I think we can get it on the screen. Here we go. I've been looking all over for it, but I still can't find the Republican plan to tackle climate change. When will they, that's Republicans, tell us what they are for? If I'm not mistaken, Senator, you got a climate change plan, right?
We do have a climate change plan, and a climate change plan which works and doesn't put Americans out of jobs, but rather increases employment opportunity. Actually had a roundtable with reporters. We've published it, and it acknowledges that the United States has lowered our greenhouse gas emissions since 1994 dramatically, and where other countries are flatlined or rising in the case of China and India, we are going down. How? By increasing renewables. That's natural gas, which has replaced less clean burning fuels, the wind and the solar that we've installed. All that has actually lowered our greenhouse gas emissions and created American jobs. We would build upon that. And by the way, that has been shown to work as opposed to the Green New Deal, which even the people on the left are saying is kind of silly.
Am I right in saying, Senator, that you're a senator from Louisiana? I think you're building port facilities which would allow the export of liquefied natural gas. I think that's your state is centered in, isn't it?
Absolutely. If China was using our liquefied natural gas to fuel their power plants instead of their coal, it would dramatically decrease global greenhouse gas emissions. By the way, it also creates American jobs, say in North Louisiana or anywhere in the nation where they produce the natural gas, the pipelines that would be built to transport it, and then those that build the export facilities in my state and other states. All American jobs, mining, manufacturing, and it helps our balance of trade. It's actually something that works as opposed to the Green New Deal.
Mr. Senator, thank you very much indeed for being with us today. We do appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.